Good morning, friends. I'm coming to you from North Glen, Colorado this morning for Coffee Cup Conversations. Today is Monday, August 2nd, and it sure feels nice to be here in Colorado visiting our daughter Amy and her husband Ian and our little grand dog Jack, who is laying over here beside me. I'm sitting in their back patio enjoying a cup of coffee, and I just wanted to share a few thoughts with you this morning. This is a special Coffee Cup Conversation because it's our last one. Kristen and I had talked about kind of feeling like it had run its course and that we are now in a different season and time, and so our needs change. But I'm thankful for God's goodness and His creative ideas that I felt like He put on our hearts, a good way to keep us connected and just to try to share some words of encouragement through when we were quarantined and not able to meet at church. And so it's been a fun ride. It's been stretching, and hopefully it has provided some encouragement. I've appreciated each one of you and some of the ways that you've been able to express the way you've been encouraged. And so that was always good confirmation that this was something that God wanted. Even if it just encouraged one person, it was worth it, because it certainly wasn't about becoming a big platform or anything like that. Just wanted to keep it simple, speak from the heart, and share a cup of coffee, because I love coffee and enjoy all the memories that are attached to my coffee mugs. They're really special. So it's rather fitting. I love the way God works things out. It's fitting. The mug that I'm going to share with you today is kind of worn. It's a Colorado Health Neighborhoods. It's Centura Health. And I got this when I was working as a medical assistant in Parker, Colorado, for my dear friend Hope Castle, who was the OBGYN that I worked for. And so this is a fun mug to remind me of a season and a chapter in my life that has become so special to me. And so I'm enjoying drinking a cup of this coffee and actually being in Colorado to drink it. I brought it with me on the plane because I wanted to do this coffee cup from here in Colorado. And so I was thinking about seasons and chapters in our life. And so here we are, kind of starting a new chapter, even though the pandemic is not behind us and there's new concerns with, the variant with Delta and different things like that. We're still dealing with decisions on masks and vaccinations and all of these different things. The bottom line is we could connect and have a cup of coffee together. And so that's encouraging. But I was thinking about seasons and chapters in our life, and sometimes it's easy when we're in certain chapters to think back to maybe the previous chapter and almost forget some of the challenges that we went through and only remember the good, or the opposite of that. We only think of the challenges from the previous chapter or the chapter that we're in right now, and we overlook the goodness and the blessings that are there. So each day has highs and lows and challenges, but God is with us in that. Matthew 6:34 says, "So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today." And so as far as parenting and speaking to young families, I read this little thing on Facebook this week. It said, you have a newborn for 7 weeks. You have an infant for 51 weeks, a toddler for 108 weeks, a child for 506 weeks, a teenager for 264 weeks. And your child is going to be a part of your life after they grow up, go off to college, become adults, and are on their own path and journey in discovering who Jesus is and their personal relationship with Him, and just starting their own path. So when you're in the chapter, maybe with a newborn, those 7 weeks feel like 7 years. It feels like an eternity. But take it one day at a time. Try to look for the highs of the day and acknowledge the challenges that are there, but recognize that Jesus is with you and He wants to help meet you today. Maybe today you have a teenager and it feels like it's been 264 years. Maybe there's attitude or disrespect, or you're just struggling. There's a power struggle that's going on. But God is with you. He loves you, and He loves your teenager as well. And He's working in their lives, even when you can't see it. Today, I'm sitting here at my daughter's house. She's a homeowner. Her and Ian work hard, and they're building a life here in Colorado. They have interests and things that they like, and I love them so much, so dearly, and it's a treat to be here. But it's a unique season of parenting, and I know God is using it to grow me. Our daughter Ashley is in Hawaii and soon to become a mom herself. And so I'm just grateful for the privilege to be their mom. And as you're kind of trudging through these weeks, whatever season you're in, remember, Joseph waited 13 years for what God put on his heart. Abraham waited 25 years. Moses waited 40 years. Jesus waited 30 years. So if God is making you wait, maybe you're praying for something, trusting God for something, you're in good company. When we spend time in His Word, it's an encouragement that He will see us through, and there is things to be learned in the waiting. So I pray for all of us that we can look back to COVID and the challenges of the pandemic, and even think of good things that have happened through that, and also realize there's ways that God has grown us. Deuteronomy, I want to close with this verse. Deuteronomy 31:8 says, "The Lord Himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged." So Kristen is going to share, we're going to put a link as I close this video, and as we kind of close the chapter to Coffee Cup Conversations, thanking God for the part that they played in all of our lives to help us through a difficult time, a challenging time. And this song is by Stephen Curtis Chapman, and it's called "Remember to Remember." And so I just pray that you'll take a few minutes, listen to the words of the song, and be encouraged, thinking back to where God has brought us from, recognizing that He's with us today, and have assurance that no matter what tomorrow holds, He holds tomorrow. He's with us, and He wants to use it to draw us closer to Him and help us to become more like Him. So, friends, thank you for going on this journey with me, with us, and may God bless you and keep you.